All right, welcome everybody to the Tuesday night chart chat. Now, we are unfortunately I have not figured out how to use the our special members only thing. So the comments are only for members, and we're going to be pulling the video off after we're done with the live stream, and it's going to go into the members only area for now. I don't know how to get the thing to stream and show comments in the live thing. So we're going to get that figured out. But so we have, we're going to have some of the riffraff joining us, but they won't be able to comment. All right. So a lot of action in the market today. Let's see here. So first, I want to welcome Open Heavens. All right, we're back. Stefano, welcome. Susan, RK, Marcel was on the live stream today. We'll get that's going to be announced on the Telegram. I think I put out a message on the Telegram. The members, the 10 bagger, 100 bagger Telegram. That's out. Michael, welcome. Dwight, all right. I hope you're making money. Some of these stocks are down. So. All right, Brock. I'm sorry I'm not wearing the T-shirt right now, but I'll be wearing it another day. It's actually two of them. The medium one fits good. All right, so let's get into the chart chat. What's happening right now? The markets are looking pretty weak right now. There's a lot of strange things happening in the markets. Let's kind of go into, I'm going to pull up some of these speculative names, which are really, it's been part of the whole, a lot of the tailwinds in the market is a speculation. I got here the NIO chart, and this is, of course, NIO, Tesla. I mean, NIO has become, one of the big drivers with Tesla and some of these others. You see what's happening here. This thing has broken the moving average, 50-day moving average, last week, maybe a little bit earlier, 10 days ago, roughly. And right now, I mean, this thing looks really pretty weak. Now, here's the thing. I do want to, here's the bit of caution. The crazy thing with charts, anything, is sometimes things can turn on a dime. So, all of a sudden, you have days like this. I don't know if you can see, I'm pointing out here. But what is it, 5 days ago? It looked like, a key reversal day. Yeah, so NIO could have, next, if it would have had a, closed the 52, 53, we would have had a kind of a resumption in that uptrend. But it didn't. It broke down. So things can change. So, if I tell you, hey, this thing is looking great, sometimes it can change 2-3 days later, or vice versa. And that's there is nothing that we could do about that. That's kind of the market. So I don't know if you guys remember back in November, late November, December, I was saying, hey, February time, the markets might probably top out. Things are not going to be that great. I was wrong. I mean, January, the markets completely they really looked like they were pretty weak. Things completely pivoted, massive melt up. And I think now we're getting to this kind of weakness in the market. So NIO, there's a couple of these stocks that look like they might be driving off a cliff, like NIO, Tesla, ARK. These things are not, not helpful for the speculative parts of the market, which is kind of, where we're operating. So look, so NIO is looking pretty shaky here. It looks like it's next level of support in NIO is, you got this $40 area. Once it breaks that, it's really back to 26. So it's got some room to fall. Let's look at Tesla. This thing is also breaking below the moving average, very similar to what you see with NIO. So the last week, you see these trends kind of breaking down. I think it was a week ago, I said, hey, this thing broke that neckline, which you saw here. I'm going to just pull it up. How do I get the chart? Draw a chart. Okay. I'm going to draw a line. Okay, so you had this kind of you had this was kind of like your neckline. But the angle is off, but basically you get it, right? So this was the kind of the neckline, and Tesla broke that neckline. It's kind of pretty bad, but then you had this day here where it looked like it was going to collapse, and you had a key reversal. Next day, closed up. In theory, if you had another few days like that, that would have been the resumption of a new uptrend. That's not what happened. So Tesla right now is in bear mode. This thing is looking pretty rough. And that, again, that's not very good for what we're doing. Let's go take a look at. So let me see if I can pull the NASDAQ. Let me see. I'm going to actually do Dow 30. I'm going to do NASDAQ. So here's your NASDAQ, which is, really that's, the big speculative, the big speculative bellwether. You see, it's really just hanging on to this moving average. I mean, it's looking very shaky. Is this a head and shoulders top? I mean, what you see happening here, this formation, it could be. It could be. We don't know yet. I mean, it could. It's almost things can go. I think I put this out on Telegram. Things right now are like there's no real. I mean, it can go either way. It's almost like a 50-50, like where things can go. I think we're seeing kind of the same thing in Bitcoin. Let's see. Okay. So you kind of have the support level right here, this kind of 13,000 range. That's your real support. You may have another trend line of support going like this, basically. So I mean, it's really like, and it's a sloppy trend line, but you see the NASDAQ is kind of just barely hanging on that to support level. So I think 13,000, if it breaks 13,000, it's almost like, a lookout below. Yeah, no comment. All right. Yeah, we're going to go into TRIP and everything else. Yeah, we got a bunch of our stocks are having a hard time today. Bunch of these stocks, look, when the market starts kind of, a lot of these things are sentiment driven. And, when the market starts turning, kind of that those animal spirits people get like freaked out. It has a negative effect on a lot of, the speculative stocks. But I think overall the stocks that we're in, I think some of these guys are definitely going to see pullbacks. They're already seeing pullbacks right now. They might even get hit pretty hard. But once the market kind of turns around, I think everything is going to come back. So this is not a thing where it's that's it, it's all over. Everything is going to zero. That's not the situation. I don't think. Well, I do like to say that sometimes everything can go to zero, but that is not the situation here. So I'm going to run this thing. I'm just going to run this banner at the bottom. That's just for the people in the public who are watching. I can't. Again, I mentioned earlier, I can't do the chat in the live stream. I haven't figured out how to do the chat in the live stream. I can show the YouTube in the members only, but the live chat is not showing up. And the live chat is really what makes. I mean, without the live chat, it's kind of boring. So. Yeah. So they're definitely like these guys are starting, generating revenues. I think CBDT is doing some pretty interesting things. I think their testing business is doing pretty well. I'd love to see the numbers once those come out. The real story for me, as far as I'm concerned, in CBDT is not so much the clinics, the COVID stuff. To me, the story on CBDT is, the rollout of those clinics, the deal that they're going to have with Rexall, to put those, the clinics next to their pharmacies, all that stuff. I think that's big issue there. That's going to be the big story. I don't know why people don't get that. They were like focused on this COVID, whatever. And yeah, look, the COVID thing, I think this is going to stick around. Is going to be, but the main deal for that stock, as far as I'm concerned, is the clinics. We'll look at that chart in just a little bit. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll go into that stock. I mean, yeah, that stock is had a nice pop once we introduced it. The Bitcoin again. I mentioned that was it's one of these speculative things. I hate the Bitcoin, all that stuff. But so had a nice pop. Now it's pulled back. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I'm gonna go into that in just a minute. Okay, PKK actually nice move. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off first. Let's start off with the stocks that are actually up because there's so many things that are down. I'm gonna be very biased. I'm just gonna start off with things that are actually, the things that are unique today. So actually, I'll look at peak. Where is our peak? There we go. Yeah. So it's interesting. The stocks that are up today, peak, peak was peak was up today. Look, I mean, on a normal day, if the market was like neutral, if things weren't crazy, the stock would have broken out. Like you see what's happening here. It's building this base. It's building this kind of flag pennant, whatever you want to call it. The same again. I'm like a broken record. It's the same thing the stock did back in December, back in November. Same type of chart pattern. This is a better one. I mean, and I'll tell you, it's impressive on a down day when the market's getting beaten up. When a stock like this is, looking strong, it's a good sign. So, peak is in a good position. I think we're going to see much higher prices on peak. I will go back to peak later. I'll go back to peak later. So let's go into another winner today. Again, if the market was behaving, this things would be even more impressive. So ESE Entertainment stock we introduced back in December, I think it was what, 30 cents, 30 cents or so, 26, 30 cents. Today, official 10 bagger. So today, ESC Entertainment joins the official 10 bagger club. It's not a 100 bagger yet. So I'm going to pull that banner down here. But yeah, so ESC is our latest official 10 bagger. It seems like we've had a bunch of stocks, hit that 10x milestone recently. I mean, like CBDT went like right through that, went to 50x. We had who else? Who else was we had? Was it fans? we got, it's like we've actually had like this just in the last month. We've had three of our kind of that October November, cohort have turned into little unicorns, little toddler unicorns. Roberto, welcome. ESC $4. Yeah. This thing looks like it's going much higher. I mean, I don't like to sound like I'm too pumpy. I know it's one of the reasons I'm moving this thing into the members only or out of the public, because otherwise people think like we're promoting pumping stocks, which is not true. So yeah, ESC, very impressive chart formation. Again, it broke out of this pennant here that you saw at 240, this kind of 240, 250 range. Right now, there's really, I mean, the trend is up. There's really nothing in the way. I'm just hoping this thing doesn't overheat. Like, let's just, maybe $4, $5, nice and steady. I don't want to. I'm hoping it doesn't get too crazy. You know, so let's go take a look. Okay, so we got ESC is looking great. ESC is amazing. It's already a 10 bagger plus. Congratulations to all of you penny stock billionaires who got into it at 30 cents or 50 cents, whatever it was back in December, or even if you bought it, I don't know, at $1, you're already up. What else? Oh, here is another one that's actually looking pretty good today. Again, very few of our stocks are looking good today. I'm being very, very honest with you. A lot of this stuff looks really rough. Relay, where's Relay? How come Relay is not on this list? Oh, there it is. So we're going to be in some, might be some rough, stormy weather here for a lot of these deals. Okay. So Relay Medical, RELA. This thing looks like it's ready to move here. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Nice price action today. Again, especially in a very bad market. I mean, like last week for these stocks, penny stocks is choppy waters here. We're getting this kind of key reversal here, breaking out of this little consolidation, this I don't know, trapezoidal pennant, whatever you want to call this, like this type of shape. I'm going to draw you some trend lines here, just so you know what's going on. Yeah, I'm going to draw some trend lines. So how about I'll do this one here. Okay. Okay, so more or less, that's kind of your resistance line. So you're going to see some resistance in the 90-cent range on a relay, okay? 90 cents, even maybe 80 cents, but really 90 cents is kind of your main area. And then you have your support. Well, this is kind of sloppy, but whatever, you get it. So it's in a pretty good position here. It's kind of doing this breakout from here. So once the stock, okay, whatever, okay. If this stock breaks out of 80 cents tomorrow, I think we could see that. Then it will be game on. Game on is what that means. Yeah, relay is really looking good. Also, Visby is actually looking pretty good here. I tell you, the Visby was actually looking pretty good. Yeah, that one's been like what I like about Visby, it's been like a nice kind of, nice steady push. Yeah, this thing also, look at this chart. I mean, this thing is getting ready to break out. So I'm going to draw you some chart patterns here. How do I draw this here? You know what? I'll tell you what. Here's what I'll do. So okay, so you got this kind of, there's your, there's like your support line. I know it looks crazy. That's one of them. So you're not going to see any resist once it breaks out. I don't think you're going to see any resistance till about $2, because that's where that line goes. That's where that line hits. The other thing is it could. So you got some. Here we go. Okay, this is your support. That's kind of where the moving average is. So 90, 80, 88 cents, 85 cents. That's your support. It's pretty much breaking out right now. So tomorrow, if this thing goes to 95 cents, once this thing breaks a buck, I think it's going to easily run to $2. So that's Visby for you. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so let's look at GBLC. I know a lot of you guys watching it. So, I mean, we got the live stream today. I don't know. I don't think we got the story out. I was looking to know, like, hey, what are the catalysts? What's going to make this thing go to, this potentially what fundamentals need to get in place for this to be $1 billion value, or even, whatever, 500 million, 5x minimum. So I think we got to get the story a little tighter. I didn't see that today. Maybe. And the Bitcoin was selling off, so this thing is, wasn't doing that great. It's kind of dropping off a little bit here. Let's look at the short-term chart. So it's, it bounced at the end of the day. You kind of have this kind of double bottom here. You have the support level right here. Okay, so you have this real support level here. I'm going to draw this for you right here. So you're kind of seeing right here in this 26-cent range. That's kind of your support. So, I mean, so the stock, where did we introduce it? I think we introduced this at 26 cents. It popped. Was it 26 cents? Was it last week? I mean, this has been like the last week is flown by so fast. If anybody remembers, what price did we put out? Did we introduce GBLC? Was it 26 or 30, 32 cents? Somewhere at 30-cent range. Hit 50. So, there's a nice move. Okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we're gonna be putting out, so on the Telegram, if you're on our Telegram and email me, I think I put that out there. Shoot me out an email, because again, the YouTube is not connected to Telegram, so I've got to do this manually. and I will shoot you out the new stock. By the way, the main thing, the new stock, the one that I think is going to be the next, like, the thing that you guys are looking for, which is that 20-cent deal, that 30-cent deal that can run very quickly. That is going to be in about a week or so, 2 weeks away. We're working on a couple of interesting things. Tomorrow's new stock is more of a couple dollar stock. It's a little bit, it's a more of a mature company. It's a little more of to be honest, it's more of an institutional energy play. It's not so much for our. It's more, we're basically helping the company. I put this out on a Telegram really to get them. They just need more outreach. We have a large institutional, kind of like more, hedge fund type guys who are into energy stocks. That's what we're doing. We're basically helping them connect with those guys. But so it's not really our main bag. Although I think the stock could, triple, quadruple. Yeah, for sure. It'll take a couple months. 28 cents. Okay. So it's not that bad. Otherwise, I'd be like, I'm glad we're not in Japan, because in Japan, so when you do something that's very embarrassing, you have to, commit the seppuku, I think they call it. You gotta, like, stab yourself. Yeah. So yeah. So all right. So GBLC is not that bad, actually. Yeah. It's okay. So basically, so it was almost a double. It was almost a double in a few days, and that's pulled back. All right. So it's not terrible. Let's see what's going on in Delk. Here's a stock. Again, this is the short-term chart. This is the 1 hour. This thing looks like yesterday. Look at this. Again, these things can turn on a dime. That's why these are tricky. Yesterday, this thing it looked like this was ready to break out, ready to run. Now it's kind of, it's looking a little bit of weakness here. Again, it's a very new chart. There's not a lot of data here, so we don't have much to work with. How do I clear this line? What is this line? Oh, I think this line is from yesterday. So there's your kind of big trend line. Your bigger resistance is in this 80-cent range. I think once the stock gets traction, breaks above 80, you can see great things happening. Meanwhile, it's just kind of, I think it's going to just hang out in this area right now. But they got some very interesting things happening. And you should check out that interview we did with the CEO. Okay. Jennifer. All right. That's a very familiar name. All right. So let's go into Trip, since we got a lot of Trip fans here. By the way, I actually like, it's funny. They put out the new design. The news came out kind of late in the day. We usually do our email blast at 8 a.m. Eastern, and that thing came out a little bit late, so we didn't put that out in our email list. But from what I understand, they had a pretty cool design. This logo design, I actually like the logo design. I like the new the Karim Rashid product. I think things are happening. But this is not the main event. This is not about a logo. It's not about the, what do you call, the smart thing that they're doing with Karim Rashid. It's about the stuff that's going to be happening. So you got to kind of keep an eye on this. I'll put it to you this way. This company just raised, what is it, $30 million. You don't get that type of money from institutions unless they see something is happening. So something, I believe, is happening. We've seen already, obviously, a little bit of progress, but this company hasn't even gotten started yet. The psychedelic space, I think, is, again, one of the big winners of this year. So we introduced this at 17 cents, hit a high of 70 cents. So it's been almost a 4x so far. We're having a nice pullback, nice healthy correction, as they say. The stock bounced off your support level right here. Here's your more or less support line in this 42-cent range. So it's kind of, it's holding pretty well. I think this 40 cent range is your support. And I have a feeling we're going to be staying in this kind of 50 cent range for a while. I said that back in a month ago, right before the thing went kind of parabolic. It needs to kind of build a little bit of a base before it can make a big move. And it kind of, what you saw happen back in February, when it broke out of that 50-cent range. It was a little too much for that thing right at that point. Then it dropped off. So I think we're going to see a little consolidation, and we're going to see higher prices. I have a feeling this is going to be a $1.50 plus stock, um, this year. Again, with the way the market is right now, I think, the velocity of things is going to slow down because things are going to take corrections, they're going to get a hit, come back, rebuild. So things which usually take, you know, in a hot market like last month would have taken, 3 weeks, are now going to take 2 months. So let's see. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me see. Trip. What's week? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, 180,000 is a lot of shares. Yeah, I would say, I wouldn't say it's crazy weak. I think a lot of these stocks right now are on let's call it on the defense. I'll be diplomatic. I'll say they're on the defense. They're a little weak. They're drooping. They're not like, they're not in full bull mode right now. We got to see what happens. I think the trip is going to hang out here. I don't think this is going to, I don't see any big sell-offs here. CBDT, I am actually waiting to hear from Steve. I think he's going to be back on maybe next week. I think we're waiting for some news. I think it could be some interesting things happening. Um, $1.30-ish within 3 months. You know what? I think it's possible. Yeah, I mean that would kind of make sense in this kind of in the current environment we're in. I see that's yeah $1.50. Yeah, I mean if they get a little bit of a tailwind, I think the market's looking for some a little direction here with some news. Um, we're going to be putting that out on Telegram tonight. I'll be sending out an email on the Telegram. So if you're a subscriber, you're going to get Telegram. If you're part of the channel, I should say, if you're part of our channel, the members, so you can get that. Let's see. Okay. Shoot me out an email. It's I think. Oh, if you just signed up, it's jm at wallstreetreporter.com. Wallstreetreporter.com. JM. Just put in your YouTube name, and I'll send it out to you. So yeah, yeah, it was a weird move. There was somebody just dumped stock. I think it was like yeah. So there was some, but then what's interesting is it came right back. So you had a nice snapback. So that's actually pretty good. I'm gonna go to the yeah. I'm gonna go yeah. I can yeah, of course. Yeah, we're gonna cover all the stocks right now. Some of them look. I don't want to cover. They look. The charts are looking bad. They're looking bad. Things are okay. So, yeah, things are getting beaten here. Okay, so VST, amazing. The last week again, we had this drop off. This thing looked like when it did this $1.25 move. Look, I mean, if you remember, I said last week, hey, I thought that was it. I thought we pop $1.25, maybe even run to $1.50, consolidate a little bit, and then off to the races like some of our other deals. But we're having this pullback, and it's been relatively controlled, so it's not it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think this thing is in good shape. Great fundamentals. They're going to be spinning out that game on deal. So hopefully the market cooperates in the next couple of weeks. Probably won't. I think we're going to see some rough things in the market. The Nasdaq looks pretty weak. I'll even show you this. I'll show you ARKK. Again, one of the bellwethers here. We got the Kathy Wood. So her deal, look, ARK. This is again the thing that's moving the markets. ARK breaking the moving average. So this thing looks like it's going to drop off pretty bad. Let me see if I can draw some trend lines. Actually, ARK is a good, it's one of these good bellwether things for what we're doing. Okay, there's your resistance. Oh. more or less. That's what you have. Actually, that's actually right there. The last two. I mean, look at this. I mean, it actually lined up perfectly. It's amazing. Basically, yeah, that's so there. It's. I mean, the thing bounced off that support. And this is actually pretty impressive trend lines. So you bounced off this support that goes back from back in what is it? Back in March. So this is the support line is in March, and it's just hanging on. I mean, it's under the moving average, but it's still above support. This 130, and that's kind of what's happening. So if it holds, it's good. If ARK drops below 120, it could be lookout below till maybe this range, $75. You could see a 50% drop in ARK. No question. Easily, this can drop 50%. Tesla can drop 50% from here. I think we look at Tesla, right? We look at Tesla. I don't know if we did. We look at Tesla, our favorite stock, our favorite. Well, I hate the stock, but one of our bellwethers. Oh sure. Let's draw a trend line. Look at this. So there is your trend line. Again, it bounced off that trend line. It's below the moving average. It's below the moving average. It looks pretty weak. I mean, Tesla looks pretty weak overall. But if it holds here, let's see. So I think that's kind of I guess you guys understand what I mean, that these markets can turn on a dime. Like right now, like it could go either way. 50. I mean, it's really a coin toss. I mean, there could be some crazy fundamentals that come out tomorrow, and it's going to be great. Or the market could break and then look out below. So it's 50-50. I'm not going to tell you. I have no idea where these things can go. Right, it's literally a coin toss. Um, so that's it. The AI, yeah, I think so. But I think in terms of the what do you call it, electric vehicles, I talked about the what is it, the Fisker. I mean, I'm not. I'm just putting the Fisker thing out there. This is just clickbait for drive traffic. The thing, stocks that are popular, but it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I'm actually for tonight's the stock I'm going to announce. I'm going to put that out on the Telegram for everybody. The bronze, the platinum bronze, put it out for everybody because it's not really. It's not the one that. It's not the. Well, I'm doing it for two reasons. One is I haven't figured out how to get this thing working properly. So this is like you're in beta mode here. So I feel like you should get something for your money while we work through these technical issues. So the stock I'm going to put out tonight is. It's not like this is not the main big super stock 10 bagger. It's an interesting stock. It's probably more of an institutional energy investor. It's not so much for like penny guys. So I'm going to put out for everybody. The big one I think will be next week, which is going to be interesting. Or I should say you will like it because it's in that 20-cent range. Yeah. Hey, they could be buying it. I mean, look, I mean, yeah, she's buying it probably to support Tesla. I mean, that whole thing is the whole world is resting on Elon Musk's shoulders right now. I mean, this guy must feel a lot of pressure because that stock is supporting the whole speculative zeitgeist of the markets. Chris will be back soon, maybe in about a week, 10 days roughly. That's a stock of big expectations for. Let's pop into ICANN. This thing looks like it was. What are these charts? Where's that? Where are these trend lines from? Is that from Tesla? I don't know where these trend lines. I think that's the leftover trend line. Okay. ICANN just hanging out. Yeah, it looked like it was going to break out yesterday. Today is, it's having, it's kind of, I don't know, the weakness in the markets maybe weighing on it. The trend is up in this thing. It's just doing this thing on the way up. The story has not changed in 3 months. Same thing, just slowly working its way up. Trip we covered, RHT. What it happened today? My God, this thing looked like it was going to break out this week. And there you go. I don't know what's going on. This thing should not be happening. This thing should have moved out of the range to the upside. It went in the wrong direction today. This is not a good look for the stock. Let's see. Let me draw you some trend lines. Okay, so that's kind of like your main, I would say like that's kind of like your real support. Oh, wait, okay. All right, you know what? I'll do this. How about that? Okay, so yeah, out of the that's another possibility actually. Look at this. So this line, if you notice what's happening, this was support and resistance. It broke out of this. That was your real key resistance. It was support over here, resistance here. So it's an interesting trend line. And again, today it literally moved right on that it on like on a dime, bounced off there. So if Relic holds this line, it's going to continue kind of in this, I believe, in this upwards, nice upwards direction. Might kind of consolidate here, but so we're going to see kind of action here. I love the fundamentals of this company. I think Lisa's doing a great job. I want to see what is in store coming up. Bets, another one. Yeah, not much happened. Again, today was just a little bit of weakness, still that kind of consolidation area. Um, I wouldn't make anything of this here today. The thing is, it could, again, you got this pennant forming here. The trend is up, so the odds are it's going to break out on the upside. Um, Interesting. Okay. Yes. Well, you know what? Technically, for now, yeah. I mean, it's really the Telegram thing was really for the platinum thing. For I'm doing it now for But the new stocks is only going to the new next week thing is only going to be for the platinum guys. So that's because that's what they're paying for. So next week, the big stock is going to be for platinum members announced first. Tonight is for everybody on the thing because we're it's let's see here. Okay, so let's go into yeah, I'm not a fan of the all of, but yeah, I think okay. So here's the thing. So basically, what I want to know. This is what I was trying to get on today's live stream. Okay, they're basically what they're essentially. Bottom line is they're getting these altcoins, right? And they're going to do the proof of stake, whatever. So, but I want to see what else they have in the pipeline. Like I want to see like what is going to be the path. They weren't giving out that much information. I think maybe they want to keep things under wraps. He didn't want to tell which coins yet, which could be makes sense. But yeah, it's not, I wouldn't call it a unicorn. Maybe it is right. Maybe you are right. I don't know. To me, a unicorn farm is really companies, but I could see that being with these coins. The problem I think with coins is they're very correlated, kind of, or no, maybe not. If they're so. I don't know what's going on with cloud. I mean, cloud basically, cloud is essentially they're focusing more on the institutional side. So we're not really working with cloud right now. They're doing their thing. They're doing more institutional meetings. So that's it. I mean, I like the stock. I have shares. I'm not selling my shares right now. I think it's going to be, at least $4, $5, So I am holding on, but yeah, I mean, you got to call cloud. They've been real busy this year. I mean, look, they did the financing, they got some big acquisitions. So I do wish they would be a little more active with the retail because I think with the good thing going, but sometimes these companies outgrow the Wall Street Reporter platform, which is a great thing. I think it would be better at five, but okay, sometimes no problem. I think they're going to do long term. I like this story. I have, I haven't, I'm holding on to these shares. I'm looking $4 or $5 at least. So that is the deal. On cloud, but we're not really posting their news at this point because we're not really working with them. Let's see, ESC. Okay, I showed you that one. ESC, I showed you. Chart looks amazing. I mean, this thing looks like it, go to $7. I'm really hoping it doesn't go too like crazy here, but it's very bullish. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to like press on the gas too much here. Cabin is actually, I gotta say, Cabin is behaving pretty well given everything that's happening in the market. They're starting finally to roll out the app. Actually, it's no longer Cabin, the new name, Liquid. So we got to use that name. So this thing's still showing up as Cabin. Liquid Avatar is the new name. We're gonna see. I want to see the traction. Let's see what kind of traction they get with the app. That's the big story, really. Okay, the one everybody's waiting for, CBDT. CBDT. So this thing, yeah, the chart was looking great before. If you're watching my live streams last week, I said, hey, things getting a little. It was a little bit overheated. He's getting a little bit. Once they start going parabolic, what happens. So I mean, this thing it's looking. I mean, it looks kind of rough right here. Look at this. I mean, this thing looks like it just wants to drop to like I don't know 70 cents. I mean, the next support is in that. Excuse me. I hope it's not COVID. Yeah. So yeah, this thing is. But look, I mean, towards the end of the day, we found like I'm looking at the short-term chart here. So yeah, I mean, you kind of want to look at this maybe. This will kind of give you direction. Let me see if I can do an hour chart. By the way, I think with CBDT, this thing is not over. This is not a one and done. This is a story that I would say really this is kind of like, I know it sounds strange, but I think this thing is still really in the first inning, so to speak. This is like very early. They haven't really, I mean, like the story really began, I would say in what do you call it? In really when we started with this company back in November, October really, but yeah, October, November is really the new Empower clinics. Before that, they were doing other things. So the new business model really started like around that November time from really December. And now with the Rexall deal, so it's a very different company. So it's in the first stage right now. So it's hard to draw a trend line because the chart is like screwed up because of this big move. So you kind of broke this kind of support area, this kind of key support, $1.16. So what's happening now is you have, let me see how far does this go? Yeah, so you have this kind of support in the dollar area. The dollar area is your support right now. So let's see how far does this go. Okay. I like those charts that go back way back. Okay, so yeah, I mean this thing is let's see what happens here. Dollar is really like your big support area, but today let me look at this over here. 15-minute chart. You kind of have like a double bottom happening right here. You have this double bottom, so I think we found kind of a level of support right here in this dollar range. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like to me. This looks like your key support. It looks like it's holding on here. So if we bounce here, this thing could do well. I think we could see new highs. If it breaks $1, I mean, it could, go to 70 cents, close that gap. I actually think it'll be. I think it'll be okay if it did that. I think the stock will be fine. I mean, it'll take a while to get back to the old highs, but let's see, from 5 to 2. Okay, so 245. Okay, so let's call it. So the stock started moving at a nickel, right? So it went to 250. So 50% retracement would be $1.25. So $1.25 is kind of your first number. And 60% retracement would be, how much is, whatever, 62%, whatever that is. So it's probably a buck, right around here. We're right now kind of in that, key retracement area. So we got to see what happens. And here's the thing with the thing with this company is yeah, what does Steve have up his sleeve? I think this guy. The good thing is I think he knows how to pivot. So it'd be interesting to see what he's got lined up. But yeah, it is yeah. I think this thing is going to be okay longer term. You got to have a little bit of patience with this, but we're going to be. I think we could be in for some rough times if it breaks his dollar range. But then again, I mean, look, Steve can pull out a rabbit out of his hat like he's done. I mean, this guy's a pro, and that's what makes these good CEOs. We've had this in the past. Companies that look, whatever was happening, all of a sudden things turn on a dime. By the way, last March, the market, remember the market big crash last February, March? A lot of our stocks dropped, 60%. Next Tech last year, what did it dropped from? I don't know, was it from 250 to a buck? Imagine AR had a big drop last year. Who else do we have last year? Fubo, formerly FaceBank. FaceBank was Fubo, which is FUBO, hottest stock on the New York Stock Exchange right now. That was a client last year. Just take a look at the videos. If you were on a live stream last year, you could have gotten into the ground floor of Fubo at around $8 around this time last year, when the symbol was FaceBank, FBNK, run by John Textor. So it goes to show you. There you go. I should get the rapid test from what do you call it? Call CBDT. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, basically, the markets are, what are the markets doing? They're fluctuating. Right now, they're fluctuating not in your favor, unless you're in some of these other stocks or you're short. Logic getting a beating, but it's again, Logic is kind of in that support range. We're waiting for this IPO to get done. Without this, this thing is kind of like they're tied up. It's very annoying. What is going on here? Oh yeah, this is a long-term chart. Yeah, 1 year. Where is this trend line? I don't know where these trend lines are coming from. Okay. Yeah, Logic. So it's below the 50-day moving average. Key support right in this kind of $7 range. It's dipping below it. It is dipping below it. Like your next level is like 680. So it's like it's gonna just kind of hang out here for the next probably week till they get this IPO thing done. Then we're gonna go full blast with this peak. I showed you that. SHG, a stock I'm expecting big things from this year. I think we're gonna have Pratt. I'm waiting. I think we're gonna be this week. We might hear back from Pratt this week. I know he's been busy. He's working on some deals. He's always working on deals, I should say. So the stock has been dropping off here. I mean, look, you had a potential breakout. Okay, I'm going to draw this line here just so I can embarrass myself. Okay. Let me do some quick trend lines. Okay, so look at this. There you go. So that's a support and resistance line. Stock, again, you had that supported the big parabolic trend, acted as a resistance in that, what is it, that dollar, 75 range. Okay. So what is next? What is next? You got, let's see. It's hard. Okay, you got another trend line here. I'm trying to see if I find a good relevant trend line. Not really. I mean, like, you have the support line right here, kind of in this range. Maybe it's a little bit lower, so it's really like right around here. Let's call it. Okay, so there's a trend line. I mean, it's kind of, and you see that's acting that like that's the psychological level of support. This $40 range. I mean, I don't know. The stock is for some reason been like under pressure. It's like not acting its normal self. It's been like retracing. So the breakout, where was the real breakout? I would say 50 cents was the real breakout. I think what price did we when did we introduce this thing? Back in December, I think it was. Um, I think it was around here. So let's call it from 50 cents to a buck 80. So it's a buck 30. If from a buck 30, so a dollar 20 could be like your next. That's the kind of that could be a retracement at 50 cents. Yeah, I mean this. What is this? This is $1.25. Yeah, it could pull back right over here. There you go. It could either of these ranges. With the market being like under pressure, you got to look at this. So look, there's two types of opportunities in the markets: the momentum play when you're chasing these things as they're breaking out, or buying these dips when a stock drops, hits a support level, and can bounce from there. So I think you're going to see a lot of that happening. I think there's going to be some real opportunities to make money. Empty Desires, what a crazy name. Is that like a Buddhist thing or something? Empty Desires or something? All right. Thank you for joining. Project X is going to be a little while. It's been pushed. It's still private, so it's been pushed back a little bit. No, I have two FCO. I think was it Brock? He said, I said like because normally in an American size I would wear like a small, maybe it depends. A lot of these American sizes, they're really, I don't know if you guys notice, a lot of sizes now, like they exaggerate them. So I think especially for women's stuff, I think that's the big scam. Like, what's a small, what used to be a small is really a medium. So, but they want them small so you feel like you're in good shape or whatever. So I said, hey, send me a small. So send me a small and a medium. The small was too small. The medium was actually, I was wearing that yesterday. The medium was just about perfect. So I'll be wearing that on the next one. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for subscribing. This okay. Great question. When is Novamind? I am waiting to hear back. I want to kind of see, like, Novamind's got some interesting things cooking right now. I think. Hey, look at this. Oh, wow, look at this. Why does YouTube keep some of these trend lines? I don't know. Anyway, so here you go. Look what's happening. This is I think a trend line I drew whenever it was last week. I don't know when it was last. And okay, so this is what the stock is doing. Basically, it's hanging out. It's bouncing off this trend. That's your key support right now. So it bounces above, it's going to continue up. If it breaks it, your next support is a buck 55. This is like your next support right in this range. Or no, sorry, I'm wrong. Right here. Basically buck 78, buck 80. So we got to see what happens with this. They got some very interesting things going on. They get some traction with those clinics. This will be great. Any thoughts on CB? I'm sure it's been short. Okay, so here's what I think is happening. First of all, that stock was getting shorted at 250. When a stock goes parabolic like that on the Canadian exchanges, you have all sorts of pros who just whack these things. So you had that. You had what did you have happen? Okay, oh my God, there's like you had like a perfect storm of everything happened. You had the short, for sure, some shorting. Apparently, the market got spooked. Oh my God, like an inside. There was a guy, like a director. He had a bunch of stock from like, years back, which, was the stock was a nickel. It goes to 250. Can you blame the guy for selling? So, people got spooked, but I think it was Dust. I don't think he really has any involvement with the company in any material sense. So it's not Um, then also what's happened is you got some stock that is from the private placement they did back in, what is it, October, November, which is going to be freed up now. So probably I think it's going to be freed up in about a week or 2 weeks. So you maybe have people who are maybe shorting against getting the paper. So that's putting a little bit of pressure. I mean, the stock is under pressure. You got a lot of things against it. Ironically, the fundamentals of CBDT are better than ever. So, but it might have gotten a little bit ahead of itself to 250. But I mean, I'll tell you that when it was in that dollar range, I really wish the stock would have stayed in that $1.50 range for a little while longer. It just looked, I mean, the stock, I mentioned this before, it looked very comfortable there. It just, if it built a nice consolidation at $1.50 range, we'd be in great shape. So now we're going to go through this kind of rough patch. Yeah, listen, I'm holding Doc. I mean, I want this thing to be 450. Let's see here. I'm glad you like it. Okay. Bitcoin. Cup and handle. I don't know, man. That's like a little bit exotic. I mean, there's really not enough data in this thing yet. You can't. The chart is like 2 months old. There's nothing here. Okay. What are we looking at? Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin. Do we cover everything? Logic, Peak, SAG, Visby, fans. Oh, how can? Sorry, we're not done. Look at this, fans. Oh, the old trend lines are still there. Amazing, huh? I mean, these trend lines are great. There you go. The stock, it's like these trend lines. It's like a bulletproof vest. It stops. Look, it's like it just bounce. It just right at that. The stock just hits that trend line and just stayed there. Let's see if it bounces off $1.55. We could see one of two things happening here. We could see a key reversal day tomorrow, and then the stock could go back in bull mode. Now, fans is actually, I think they're going to be on the program this week, Friday. I think it's Friday. Now, actually, I may not be able to. They're going to be on the program, I think, this week. So, to me, that means they might have good news, right? If they usually do a program, usually has to be good. I mean, I'm usually thinking if a company's going to be on, they have some good news. I don't know. So, they seem to be getting more and more good things happening. I mean, this company has been just building. Look, they started at 35 cents back in July with us. It's no, maybe it was 28 cents. I don't know, whatever it was. So it's already basically a 10 bagger. One of our many 10 baggers. And I don't think this is done yet. I think we're going to see $4 at this point. Let's see. Okay. AIML. Again, this chart, not a lot. Where are these? Okay, this is trend lines. I don't know. There's not a lot going on with this chart yet. So there's not enough information. There's only like 2 months of data. So again, it's almost like the way the FCO chart was looking. It's still brand new. So we're kind of we're at this kind of support level right here, 25 cents. Key support. Let's see what Peter comes up with. Maybe next week. Maybe. Happy. What the hell is going on here? Happy. Oh my God. This thing is getting whacked today. Wow. Okay, so I think we introduced this what 80 cents, let's call it. Goes to a buck and 30, I think it was a buck 30. Um, Big pullback all of a sudden. I think this company has something really good going on. I was using the Happy this morning, and I think the problem is, well, for some people like me, is like I got the thing, I turn it on, I set up the app, it's going, but then I forgot, like, to turn it on later. I think the thing actually works. I mean, I mentioned before, like I've seen positive. This is only my third time using it. I think you got to use it about 10 times before like you start getting the brain wave thing happening. Um, uh, yeah, exactly. By the way, actually, I have an extra one. I have one that came in the box because they sent me one um, before the live stream. I said, "Hey, I want to check it out," and I think there was a delay because it was coming from like Michigan or something, and because they make these here in the U.S., right? So I got one in the box. We're going to be doing a giveaway. I think we have to do a giveaway to the audience members. We have to figure out a way to give it away. But I will be giving away Happy. I will give away the Happy, brand new in the box. Not this one. This is mine. But I got an extra. They sent me an extra one, basically. So I have two. I'm going to give one. Although, of course, you're going to have to call up the company and set it up. So you're going to be paying $20 a month. So it'll generate some revenues for the company. I'm looking for some suggestions. What kind of contest should we have, which will determine the winner of the Happy? Brand new in the box. Suggestions. I like this. This is smart. Paper hands. Oh, in that chart. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the hell happened here. I mean, this thing, like, it's like, whew. I mean, like, really, again, I thought normally it should have had a support level right around here, 97 cents. Like we saw with many others, build a base, broke right through there. It's a pretty new chart, so there's not a lot of data here. I think we're going to get into a good buying range. Again, we're not giving advice, but let's call it, okay, so I don't know, is this a good line here from here? That would have been it. So, that's a good one. You got kind of another one right here in this kind of range. You got another one right here, which is like, this kind of. So you have a couple of range. I mean, I think this thing might hit up 85 cents at the rate it's going. I mean, look at this. You have this kind of, what do you call this, island thing? This little one, today's action looks like a little island thing happening. That's not positive. So yeah, so the stock might hit 85 cents. It might pull back. Listen, a lot of our stocks actually, it used to be when we introduced a stock, a lot of times it would drop off after a while. It would drop 25, 30%, and then, take off. So like the market, in the last little while, it's gotten a little frothy. So things are, a little different. But I like the Happy store. I think this could be one of our big winners, especially if they get. My throat is very dry. My drink. This tea is not good. Look, I think here's the story. They got to sell 50,000 of these. That's not a lot. 50,000 subs, $20 a month. That's $1 million of revenues. 12 million a year. The market would pay crazy money for this type of deal. 50x, I believe. 100x. Why not? That's what these things are going for. So that could be a $500 billion market cap if they sell it. So that's the path. So when I ask a company, what is your path to getting, I want to know, what is the path to making your company $1 billion valuation business? What are the catalysts? What's the roadway to get there? For Happy, it's pretty clear. 50,000 of these things sold. Again, this is my opinion only. This is not whatever. Sell 50,000 these next 6 months. Get those recurring revenues, and you're gonna have a winner. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know who it is. I think we probably have it. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be honest with you. I don't know how I feel. How I really feel about these paid subscriptions, because I'm not really like trying to make money on paid subscriptions. I really did it for 2 reasons. One is I want to get rid of the stupid people from the chats, the freeload. Yeah, I don't want to say freeloaders, but like you kind of get a much better quality audience when people pay even $10. It just weeds out all the riffraff. That's number one. Much better. So that saves a lot of time. Number two is I'm kind of curious. Do people really value the information? So apparently some people like it. What I don't like about it, to be honest, is now I feel like I really have to do this like every couple of days. Like I have to do this because now like I'm working for you. So it's like now it's like an obligation. I got to show up. It's like being married. You got to be there every day. You can't just show up whenever you want, So and then I got to deliver. You got to have good stuff. Otherwise, if we have dog stocks, if everything collapses, then I guess you could all refund. That might be actually that might not be so bad. So all right. Buy the dips. I think we're going to see some opportunities. I mean, like I would say, keep powder dry. Wait till things stabilize. Things right now in some of these stocks, I mean, in markets in general, are very dicey. You might have some these things go drop off like in a vacuum almost. So keep powder dry. I think you're gonna have some opportunities in a lot of these names. Listen, just like Imagine AR. Last year, Imagine AR, at this time, I think it was 20, I mean, from 20 cents, 15 cents, whatever, it went to 2 cents. And then, went to 40. Yeah. So these things are a roller coaster. If you're looking at these stocks, I always say, look, do not put money into any of these stocks unless you're willing to lose all your money. Because they can, anything can happen. It's like a roller coaster. I don't like randomness because then we need something more where there's some skill involved. Maybe one of you picks what's going to be the next, whatever, 10 bag or the next stock to whatever, something like that. We need something like that. Altcoin vibes. I don't know what that means. Is that positive or negative? But I like this company. Because the crypto is part of the whole mentality. Look, the market is moving on. It's part of a whole mentality in the market. People have the speculative mindset. The crypto is just part of it. Tesla is part of it. NIO is part of it. ARK, all that stuff is all part of that thinking. And the crypto is like the biggest, what is it? It's the one of the most kind of more egregious aspects of it. I don't know if I'm articulating it properly, but that's basically what's happening. Okay. Let's see. Okay. 2 times a week, he'll be happy with that. Exactly. There's only so much. I think 3 times, pretty much 3 times, unless something is really moving. Oh, I agree. Shafin, where is Shafin? I'm going to give it to Shafin. I think I have his email. We're going to give it to Shafin. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give it to Shafin. I'm going to have him do a review, live video review. That's part of the deal. I'm going to send it to him. and he's got to do the review. That's the deal. He's got to do the review on video and send it to us. Shafin, if you're watching, contact me. I don't know if I have your email. I think I have it, but if contact me. I think it works. Again, I'm not the but I think the main thing is it's like you got to basically turn on the app and you got to use it like I think probably about 10 times. From what I understand, I was told you got to get about 10 times because you got to get used to the brain, whatever the waves. It's like from what I was told, it's like I got no water here and I got this dry tea. From what I understand, it's the reason why, I never got high from smoking pot because I think I smoked it once or twice. I didn't get any high from it, so I never really, I don't know what this is about. I never really, but I was told I was doing it wrong because you have to smoke pot like 10 times before it has an effect, and then you get into it. I don't know. It never really did anything for me, so I don't really again, I represent cannabis companies, mushroom companies. I don't do either product. I mean, but I know people who love it. Same thing with any of these things, right? It's great. Okay, so twice a week. You guys would be happy by a show of hands twice. I think I would do it more than twice a week because I want people to get their money's. I mean, you don't want to do too much because then you don't want to see me all the time. But I think twice a week is a good number. And then we have the Telegram. Really, the Telegram for the paid members. The Telegram thing is going to be the main deal, and also the new stock. Because I figure if you get one new stock a month, and that's kind of want to keep it to one new stock, maybe two. The new ones that we have coming up in the next probably month or so, there's going to be some great opportunities, and that's basically where you're going to get the value. Okay. I think they're okay. It's a good point. I think you should bring it up in the next live stream, and I think they are actually doing that stuff right now. So, shit, man, I sold a lot of happies for this guy. Then I should like an infomercial campaign. You like happy, the best prospect? No, I'm not really. I'm not interested in drugs. I smoke cigars and that's it. That's enough for me. Wait, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, okay. So if I'm 2, 3 times, okay, we're good then. I'm showing up today, which is a little more than twice a week because, you know what? I think, it's good to show up on a day when the markets are crap because, that's kind of when this is valuable. Anybody can show up on a day when the markets are up and the stocks are up and take credit for everything. Okay, so you think happy is one of the best prospects? I think it's one of the ones that could be, if they get the thing going, it could be a $20 stock. I believe that if they get those 50,000 units. Okay, all right. Monday, Wednesday, okay. So I would, yeah. Okay. Okay. This is what I was pretty much, okay, so good. All right. So I'm glad the expectations are not crazy. Twice, 3 times a week, I could do that. All right. It seems like, okay, so we've had a vote 3 times, we're done. Sunday, and then, or depending on market action. This crazy thing's happening, it might be 4 times. If there's nothing happening, twice. Okay. All right. Okay. Sunday. Yeah, exactly. Friday. No, I don't want to look at stocks on Friday at night. The 18 years of research, the parent company on the product. What is okay? Explain it again. I'm not sure I understand, but rewrite this. I'm not sure I understand this. Oh, They're calling it people are calling this a scam because what the 18 years of research behind the parent company. What do you mean? Research 18 years behind no published results in the product. What is it? I'm not sure what you mean. Um, Explain. I'm not. Maybe if you, I have to have you say it. Okay. Um, they license the tech from the parent company, right? That's correct. Yeah, they license it for the consumer markets. Yep. Um, the parent company has research. So these guys are doing different. It's a different thing. They're doing consumer things, so they can't use the same data, really, right? Can they? I don't know. But I've seen a lot of reviews online from people, like real people, who say it works for them. I think it works. I'm using it. I've used it, what, two, 3 times? Probably not enough because I've only had it on for like an hour or so, or half hour. So I think there's a subtle effect. It probably goes bigger once you use it more. So, I have a feeling that Scott is a pretty legit guy. So I'm not worried. Okay, different signs. Oh, they need the result. Okay, okay. So yeah, it's a different. So the parent company thing is more for whatever the brain cancer, the brain whatever, the actual medical use. They need to have studies for this thing, which, from what I understand, is what they're doing now. But this is a consumer thing, so it's a different thing. Okay. Yeah. Look, this is one of these things where it's always going to be controversial. I think there's always going to be people who say, "Hey, the thing works." People who say it doesn't work. It's going to be one of those deals. It's like Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is a scam, but there's a million people who are much smarter than me who think it's great. But I still think, even though Bitcoin is a scam, I still think it's going to go to 100,000 at some point. It's doing a bit of a pullback here. I think we're going to see a shake off in the Bitcoin, but you know, yeah. Okay, but even you know what? Okay, that's a valid point. So homeopathy, though, is a massive multi-billion-dollar market. I mean, there's like companies, I know there's like who sell those, like whatever the potions, whatever it is, huge. It's like a chiropractor, right? Chiropractor, they're not considered like a real doctor, but they are. It's so okay. Okay, so just it's JM like Jack Marks at wallstreetreporter.com. JM at wallstreetreporter.com. I have no idea. I don't know. You gotta ask these guys next time they go on. I introduced Scott to Todd from Red Light. Maybe they can do something together. I think they might be doing something. I don't know what, but it'd be interesting. Yeah, there might be. I think it's, what it is. I know where. I think I figured out where a lot of people get this, because anytime you have something that looks like a weird thing, like a weird device, it's got that like tinfoil hat vibe thing. I know or like those triangle things people put on, whatever, pyramids. But there's definitely some science behind it. So, um, okay. I don't have a garden, but one of you guys should do the research here. So I think we got a bunch of people who ordered one. Let's find out. How does it work? Okay. This microdosing thing is a big deal, apparently. What's his name? The guy from Delic, the CEO of Delic, was saying that's the big thing in Silicon Valley. Everybody at Facebook is doing that. They're probably all microdosing. No, I think actually Delic did a pretty good job. If you saw the last interview, I think he actually did a very good job. I may have kind of like, whatever, thrown things off course, but I got his idea. His idea is pretty simple. I think if I can articulate it, is that they're building this ecosystem, psychedelic ecosystem. They got the media side, reviews of mushrooms or what have you. They got the clinics. They got the research lab. The research lab develops different delivery systems, transdermal patches, vapes, whatever it's going to be for getting the psychedelics into you. Then people go to their website and they do reviews of the psychedelics. Hey, I got whatever, thing's great. I did a vape and I had a massive trip. And then they take that data, obviously without the privacy stuff, whatever, it's going to be privacy issues out. From, let's say, 10,000 people, they can sell that to a drug development company, like a biotech company. Okay. Okay, Marcel, on the next live stream, you got to come on with Happy. We might have some like interesting discussion. So apparently, you know a lot about the space. What? We're getting a super chat. I can't believe this. We're getting a super chat. This is this is for members. You don't even have to do a super. I appreciate it. I don't even know what this is, the super chat, but cold water. Thank you very much. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I wonder how many you could sell to if we did it. I think we should do a discount. I think if we did a discount code, that's what we got to do. We got to do a discount code. Yeah. That's part 2. Is the guy who ran High Times magazine for what, 15 years? All those people are going into the psychedelic space. He's got a big network, so there's going to be M&A opportunities. I think this company is going to be very different in, let's call it, 6 months than it is right now. There's going to be acquisitions, etc. Same thing, by the way, with Trip, with Novamind. I think these guys, all these guys in the mushroom space, they're going to have, there's going to be massive M&A activity. Okay. All right. With that said, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to be shooting out the name of the new company to the Telegram, to our member Telegram. And this video is going to be pulled off from public viewing. It's going to go into the members only area as soon as we're done. So in the future, we'll figure out a way to, have these as, what do you call it? Member only live chat. I just got to figure out how to get the chat and the video in only the members area. But for right now, it's seen by other people. Fantastic. Okay, guys, thank you. I'll see you on tomorrow's live stream. The new company is going to be on 12:30. Interesting energy company. And then we're going to have, who else we're going to have? That's Wednesday. I think we're going to have SHG on Thursday or Friday, and fans on Friday probably. So, this week, interesting stuff happening. Thank you for joining, and remember to stay liquid in this market.